Okay, let's dive right into creating a form then. In Google Drive, I'm going to click the red Create button, or in the new version, the New button. I'm going to come down here to More, and I'm going to select Google Forms. This is going to bring me to start by choosing the title of my form. I'll choose Favorite Things. And I will choose a theme. Various themes you can choose, whatever takes your fancy. I'll go for a simple form and I'll click on OK. Now we're actually starting to design our form. If I'm not happy with my title, I can change it here. I'll put a capital letter on things if I wish. It's not compulsory, but if you want to put a little description regarding what your form is all about, you could write it in there. Now I can start actually writing my questions. The first question, I think I'm going to ask for the respondent's name, because I think that's a good start. So we'll put name in there. If you want to add some help text, something like please write your name in the space below, you can do that. I think it's fairly obvious that the question is write your name down. You need to choose the type of question that you want. These are the various types you can choose from. The difference in text and paragraph text is that text is just a small box, whereas paragraph text would allow them to sort of write a chunk of text down. In this instance, I believe that text is the right answer. Once you've done that, you click on Done. To ask another question, you simply click on Add Item. And we can then choose another question, something along the lines of, what should we go for? What is your favorite fruit? Again, if you want to add some help text in there, you can do. In this instance, we're going to choose multiple choice. So the first option is going to be an apple. Next option is going to be a strawberry. Next item is going to be a raspberry. Fourth option is going to be grapes. All right. We can say add other in here. So if they want to, they can put their own answer in there. If, for instance, their favorite fruit is not an apple, a strawberry, a raspberry, or a grape. Again, you can click Done, and then that particular question is sorted. If we want to add another item, another question, we can say, what is your favorite football team? Again, you could put some help text in there if you want. In this instance, we're going to choose from a list, just so you can see the different options that you've got. We're going to put in, obviously, the best football team first, and then we shall put the worst football team in second, and then sort of the also-rans after that. And again, this would allow students to choose what their favourite football team is. Again, when you've finished, you can click Done. I'll add another item. What should we go for this time? We shall say, what is your favorite day of the week? Again, you can write some text in there, and this time we shall choose, we'll go for some checkboxes. Okay, we can put in Monday, spelled correctly, still spelled correctly, Tuesday, Wednesday, you got the idea. And if we want a question to be answered for certain, in other words, we're not going to allow the respondent to opt out of not answering it rather, we can click on Required Question, and that will force them to answer the question that we've asked them to respond to. So let's have a look what the form will look like as we've created it so far. If you look up here, you can see that you can click on a button called View Live Form, and this is what the form would look like were we to publish it right here, right now. And it looks okay, apart from the fact that I've noticed I've made a spelling error here. It's not what, and I've also made another one here with raspberry. So what we're going to do is we're going to go back to the form and we're going to make sure that we filled it in correctly. So here I believe it's a raspberry, and I believe that what doesn't have a J in it. If I can find it, there it is. And then we can go back and view it again, and I think that looks an awful lot better. Reflection, I think that probably we need to have name as a required answer as well. So let's go back in there, and this time we'll go to the name bit, and we're going to say that that's a required question as well. And as you go along, it's automatically saved. You can toggle between view the live form and the creation bit of the form. So no excuses then, you're not getting it right. Even if you decided that you don't like your theme, having viewed the live form, you can alter the theme on the fly, in other words, on the go. Just click on this button here and then choose another one. Beach evening we'll go for now. Click on OK and view the live form, and this time you'll have a different theme than what you had before. Maybe that's more appropriate than the simple form that we had before. Alright, finally we've got this confirmation page. This is the last thing that the respondents who've submitted your form back to you will actually see. This is the default message that is given. If you're not happy with that and you want something maybe a little bit more friendly, we can go for thank you for your responses. You can have a link in there to submit another response. So let's say you've got another form that you want them to fill in, something else, you can do that. You can publish and show a public link to form results, which will be onto the web, for instance. You can allow respondents to edit responses after submitting. So in other words, let's say it's a test, you're asking them for sort of what's the answer for 2 times 3, and they put down 5, they've submitted the form and they think what an idiot, it's actually 6, and they want to go back and alter the choice that they originally gave you. You can check that box there, which would allow them to do that, and then you click on send form. This is the point at which you need to sort of enter the names and email addresses of the students concerned. So you'd fill in their details in here. Richard Herneman will be setting up class lists, so you should be able to set, I don't know, set 2 year 7 maths, for instance, and then all of the students who are in that particular set will actually receive this email. At the moment, I'm afraid, you'll have to write down each individual child and send them via an email. Once you've done that, you click on the send button. I'm not going to do that, but that's how you do it. Hope that makes sense.